Hey everybody, in this house, we raise contributors, not spectators. Well, except for maybe my dog and my cat, but even they have jobs around the house, right? So I want to talk to you today about responsibilities around the house, chores. And I don't want to get in a debate of whether you pay for chores or it's something that you have to do to help maintain the house. That philosophy is perfectly up to you. But what I do want you to understand is how important it is that your kids are doing chores of some sort at your home. Whatever you think that should be, obviously you have the right to do that. You're the parent, you do that. Some families, the kids split the chores however they get split. Some, it depends on what their school activities are or how much homework they have or all these things. Listen, again, not my business, but what I do want to tell you is that the chores, the responsibilities at home are important for raising a resilient, empathetic, kind person that is going to eventually leave your house and become part of the processes and systems outside your door, right? And we at home, moms and dads, are responsible for raising responsible adults. A concept I feel like is getting missed. And part of the reason I wanted to write the Soldier Mom stories that I write is most importantly because I value character. My mom raised me that way. My dad certainly raised me that way. And I raised my kids that way. And part of raising responsible, resilient children is teaching them that they can do hard things. When they first learn to do a chore, no matter what that chore is, no matter what that responsibility is, it might be hard at first. Why? Because it's new. And anything that we start that's new that we haven't ever done before, of course, it's going to have a learning curve. It's going to be a little tough up front. But what happens as we learn how to do those things? We become confident in what we're doing. We know that we can do hard things. So I'm going to jump back a few years, a few decades, and I joined the Army National Guard. So I started out my Army career in the Florida Army National Guard. And my choice to join was, simply put, I needed to pay for college. I was not a very good student in college, not because I wasn't capable, but I really just didn't enjoy high school. Luckily for me, I did graduate, barely, but I did. And I decided after a couple years after graduating high school that the only way I was going to be able to make a difference and be the person I needed to be was to go to college, and I couldn't afford to do that. My grades definitely didn't support getting into a college, so I needed to find a way to get there. So with that said, I joined the Army National Guard. Now, I knew I could do that because I was a Navy brat. My dad was in the Navy. My mom was also in the Army National Guard at that time. And so I kind of understood the process. Did I know exactly what I was getting into when I did that? Absolutely not. Now, I say all that to say, when I went to basic training, I didn't know how to march and how to shoot and how to be a soldier and how to clean a gaping wound and do CPR and do all the things that I had to do to get through basic training. I didn't know all those things. I wasn't good at it. I wasn't good at cadence. I wasn't good at PT. I certainly wasn't good at push-ups. Ooh, worse. Anyway, the thing I'm trying to tell you is all new things are hard. And for our littles, we're not only teaching them a value skill set of taking responsibility and doing things even when they are hard or a little inconvenient. Of course, they would rather be playing a game or outside playing with friends or whatever they'd rather be doing than doing the responsibility. But if we don't teach them that responsibilities are also important to the value of life, whether we're having a good life or a bad life, or maybe even a good day or a bad day, depending on, the chore that they had to get done. If we're not teaching that at home, then when they get outside our door and they are on their own to try to maneuver through all the world will throw at them, then we haven't done a good job as parents. We have not prepared them to go forth and do great things. Now, You could be doing things as simple as assigning chores and making sure that the chores get done and holding them accountable if things are not done. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying it might not be done perfectly. Listen, I have a little OCD. I know I want things done a certain way. But as our kids are learning how to do chores, first we're modeling it, then they're doing it, then they're doing it more often, and they're practicing. As they start to practice, they'll start asking you more questions and they'll start learning your way of doing things for that moment and chores, and they will get better at it. But if you're not giving them any responsibilities, they're never going to know how to go through the process of not knowing how to do something to becoming confident in doing it. And those are all the steps that we just discussed on how to get from the beginning to the confidence level. Now let's go back to that basic training conversation I just had. At the beginning of those 8 weeks, I didn't know anything. I was a weak-minded civilian. When I graduated 8 weeks later, I wasn't so weak. I was pretty strong, and darn it if I didn't have a lot of confidence. And I certainly knew how to walk the walk and talk the talk. And so I'm sharing all this with you as parents, knowing that just because your kids might not be doing things perfectly with the chores, they're trying. Let them know that that matters, that what they're doing helps the family. If you're doing something for the community, let them help. Drag the boxes out to the Goodwill or whatever that looks like. Let them choose toys to give to the needy. Whatever that may be, let them relish in that. Let them understand the importance of what they're doing. And so I give all this to you to let you know that you're not in this boat alone. I'm glad you're here with me so that we can grow together in this journey and learn from one another, quite frankly. Anyway, you guys go forth and do great things. I love you, and I'll see you on the next one.